Hi, welcome back to Wallflowers. So I just wanted to do a quick recap on where I'm up to with my health. I haven't done a video for quite a while now on my health in general. Many of you that are dedicated to the channel will know that I've had quite a stressful year this year. Not knowing whether my marriage and relationship was going to survive, different issues with my health. So for those that are not familiar, nearly about 8 years ago, I actually went through the menopause. At that point, I owned my own cafe, was working approximately 16 hours a day, going to early markets, buying the stock to sell in the cafe, cleaning and stocking the cafe, then serving all day and staying open for late hours to try and catch passing trade. And I was doing that 7 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, but mostly 7 days a week. And at that time I was quite a buxom lady. I was approximately a size 18, and the weight just dropped off me. Although I was quite happy at the time to be losing a little bit of weight of my weight at the time, I lost a tremendous amount of weight. And at the same time I started having issues with my coccyx and my pelvic area, and I started to attend doctor's appointments, which led to hospital appointments, which led to me having cameras inserted in different places and checking if there were any issues, lots of blood tests, which then led to CT scans, MRI scans, and it gradually progressed to I was diagnosed with a twisted coccyx, which was protruding through the front, L5S1, bulging discs. Then I was diagnosed with arthritic spine. Then I was diagnosed with cervical spondylitis in my neck, lower head, going down to the shoulder area. So basically it comes from the tops of my ears, down my neck, down my spine, right down to the coccyx area. Some days I can be active, I can work in the garden, I can go for a walk, and on camera of course it looks like I've got an abundance of energy and can do lots of things, because the things that I'm recording at the time, or Mr. Wallflowers is recording me doing, will be on the good days when I'm capable of doing those tasks. I'm no longer able to carry heavy items. I couldn't help to move furniture around the house anymore if I'm cleaning or doing a room change. I can no longer do that, where in the past I was quite a strong lady and could pull the washing machine out by myself, could do different things, and I can no longer do that. So I'm reliant on Mr. Wallflowers to pull the washing machine out so I can clean around the edges and behind it, as well as the cooker, different pieces of furniture. So if we replace something, I then have to ask someone, my sons, to help Dad and have those jobs done, because I'm no longer able to help in those circumstances. On a bad day I can be bent over and unable to straighten my spine and walk correctly. Touch wood, that hasn't been that severe for approximately about 5 months now. About 5 months ago I had a spell of 2 to 3 days where I couldn't literally stand up straight, or it'd be intermittent throughout the day where I could actually straighten up, and then as soon as I was sitting down again I couldn't straighten up again, which then prevents me from sleeping well, because with the top the twisted coccyx. I can't actually lay flat on the bed, so I'm trying to sleep on my side and roll over on my stomach, and it just causes issues. So the number of hours I sleep in the night is not as long as my body really requires. So this has been ongoing for about 8 years, and as I say, I've continually had spine looked at, the rectal area, the front area, the throat. I've had every examination going. I've lost count how many MRIs, CTIs and cameras, CTs, sorry, not CTIs, and cameras I've had in each and every area. I had times where I would be convinced I had a cancer or a tumour, and obviously, you know, nobody should Google symptoms, we know this, we get told, but I've done that and I've worried myself sick thinking I'm going to have any number of these issues. And up until last year, the big C or a tumour would be my primary thought of what I would have. And I had several tests, and that's when they actually diagnosed the cervical spondylitis on top of everything else. Diverticulitis, slow heartbeat, a number of, you know, different diagnoses that they've given me. 18 months ago, I actually had a very mild heart attack, which was very frightening in itself, but fortunately it was a very mild one, and I've been able to carry on normal, as it were, since then. For the last couple of weeks I've actually had chest pains, and I've been quite worried about my health, and as I say, those dedicated followers of the channel, I'll know that I haven't produced many videos in this past month, really because of fears of my health, chest pains, worried about different things. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I had an overall checkup at the GP, at the doctors basically. They took blood samples, blood pressure, a number of different things. A day later, 7:30 in the evening, I got a telephone call to say that my white blood cells were exceedingly raised. Would I return for further blood tests? But unfortunately, with the bank holiday Monday, you okay? With the bank holiday Monday, I had to wait. So my appointment for the fresh blood tests are tomorrow morning. This has played on my mind ever since the phone call. You know, what have they found? What are they going to see? What, you know, what's there? Now, it could be anything from a mild infection, a water infection, a chest infection. It could be absolutely anything, you know. But obviously worried about my health long term, as I do suffer with my heart, with my lungs, I have asthma as well, and with my spinal conditions and everything that the menopause has done to me over the last 8 years. It's a big concern to think, you know, what have they found? And the not known is so dangerous, you know. So yeah, I took back to looking on Google, what could possibilities be, and of course you return back to the cancers, the tumours, the leukemias, as well as any mild infection. It could be that antibiotics, etc. could clear up. So it's a not knowing that has, I won't use the word paranoid, I'll use the word insecure of not knowing, has really severely worried me. So with knowing that my birthday was coming up, Mr. Wallflowers decided we'd go away for a break. We couldn't really afford it because we'd actually just budgeted and worked out how we could actually afford to get the wood stove burner in. But because of everything going on, we decided to hell with everything basically, and let's just go and have a mini break. So that's what we did. And as I say, I was still having these chest pains. Now, when any medic asks you what grade would you grade the pain, these pains could be anywhere from a 2 to 3 to a 3 to 4, and not over the 5 threshold, if that makes sense. So although it was sore, tender, and paining, it was bearable, functionable pain, but still worrying because I know about these white cell blood counts. So we went off 5.5 hour drive journey to South Wales, and these pains would still be there, and I thought we'd be okay. And of course, being in the countryside, being in Wales, a lot of it's quite hilly, and I didn't realise quite how much I wouldn't be capable, not capable, but how much energy and how I'd struggle really up and down hills, which I did. I was quite out of breath and it was quite painful. We had all these plans to see so many castles and to have adventures and see these different places, and we managed to take in 3 castles. One was really on a flat surface, which was quite okay. Typically ruined castle, which was Carmarthen, in the south of Wales, and that was quite easy for us to get around, and there wasn't an awful lot for us to see. Then we went to Llanstefan on the second day, and it was quite hilly to access it. It took every ounce of my energy to actually get there, and I did struggle. I was in pain, and I got there and I basically rested on the grass for quite a period of time before we could actually take a look at any part of the castle. So we only actually covered the first section of the castle because I didn't have the energy to actually walk around the rest of the castle. So Mr. Wallflowers took in as much as he could and let me rest up and sit down. So you don't see an awful lot of us running around castles or doing stuff because I just wasn't capable. I was glad to see the beauty of it, the historical value of it, and I was so happy to be there. I just didn't have the energy to participate as much as I would have liked to, or as much as I thought I would be able to. So I had to realistically do what I was capable of. And even though when we were walking back a lot of it was downhill, it still took it out of me dramatically, and I was shattered the rest of the evening. And then the next day we rested, watched the birds through the windows for the majority of the day, sat in the garden sunbathing, and literally drove out just to have lunch. And then when we left on the last day, it was actually 3.5 hours drive from South Wales to North Wales.
Of 4, at which stop?
4 hours. You think, oh, you're only sitting in a vehicle and you're only driving along, but when you actually sat upright in a vehicle, the pressure on your coccyx, if people don't suffer with coccyx pain or any bulging discs or anything like that, they probably wouldn't appreciate how awkward that can be. But it's quite traumatic to sit in a vehicle for that long. So we took time out and went for lunch, and then went off to Carnarvon Castle. And again, it was although that was on a flat within the castle, there was an awful lot of steps which I just couldn't manage. I managed a couple, and then Mr. Wallflowers would go ahead and video different sections and come back and get me. So that's why, again, you won't see us around the castle doing different things, because Mr. Wallflowers had to go off on his own and record and come back and collect me. So although it was a really good holiday, just couldn't participate. I just wasn't capable of participating as much as I would have liked to. Not only with the aches and pains, but with the stress and the worry adding to those aches and pains. So we returned home Monday. On Tuesday, a friend of mine had invited me out to lunch and wanted to treat me because I was away for my birthday, and she wanted to treat me. So she took us out for a meal. So I was quite well behaved. I just had a small lasagna and a big leafy salad, and have been trying to eat as best as I can eat, as clean as I can eat. I haven't really been eating any treats, chocolates, cakes, those types of things. I've been trying to eat as cleanly as I can. Oily fish, plenty of protein, plenty of greens, and trying to balance the meals properly. So Monday night, I came back from spending the day with my friend. Tuesday, sorry. We'd sat in the garden for a short while, and I was just deadheading some flowers, and the pains came back again. So I came in from outside and sat down on the sofa. I got lightheaded. I was really dizzy. I felt like a floating sensation. If I was to be high, I could imagine that's how it'd feel. Just not quite an out-of-body experience, but really floaty and really not normal. And I started to feel a pain down my jaw, which really was uncomfortable, and it was tingling. And then I felt a pressure in my shoulder, as if somebody was actually standing on my shoulder, and my shoulder was making my arm feel really, really weak, and it was aching. And then pins and needles in my right arm, and I didn't really want to scare Mr. Wallflowers, and he'd had me telling him for days, you know, I'm in pain. So I decided to lay down on the settee. I went really cold. I decided to try and make myself go to sleep and recoup some energy. Mr. Wallflower said I dropped off for 20 minutes, but I didn't feel like I had. I didn't notice I'd been to sleep. I just felt like I was blinking my eyes. When I woke up, my jaw just on the right side and stopping in the centre of my chin, just right up the front and behind of my ear, was really, really aching, tingling all down my neck, all down my arm, and around both armpits and around the outside of my breasts, but not in the centre of my chest. So I decided to phone 111, which is our National Health Service, and they sent an ambulance. The ambulance blue lighted and came here in a hurry. In the ambulance, they did what's an ECG, so it's a heart trace. And they gave me aspirin and a GTN tablet that you place under your tongue, which opens your blood vessels and lets your blood circulate properly, and then took me to the hospital. So this was 11 p.m, 11:30 p.m. on Tuesday evening. All the results came back fine. They said my stats were okay. At 3 o'clock in the morning, they eventually said I was okay to go home. So that's what we did. We came home. Now, for the last couple of days, I'm still having pains in the armpits and around the breast area. My jaw's perfectly fine now. Slight ache in my shoulder, but my spine is aching. Fortunately, I'm still standing up okay. I can straighten up when I stand up. And I have blood tests tomorrow. I'm hoping it's a little infection, as I say, that can be treated with antibiotics, but they're not known is crucifying me at the moment. So I will update and let you know how I am. I'm really sorry I haven't produced as many videos as I normally do, but as you can understand, there's been quite a lot going on with illnesses, with my birthday, with going away. Mr. Wallflowers has took the baton and tried to provide as many videos as he could, and we'll try to maintain that. But yeah, I'm okay within myself, just a bit worried, listening out now and waiting to see what the results are. I'm able to stand up, I'm still functioning, but I feel quite poorly at the moment within myself, aching and different things. So if it is an infection and they give me some antibiotics or they give me something, hopefully I'm back to A1 pretty soon, but I'll keep you informed. Besides that, we're enjoying the fire. The fire's been installed, so when it gets chilly in the evening, we're putting that on because I don't know why Mr. Wallflowers isn't feeling the chill because we're having really good weather here. But I can't seem to feel the heat at the moment, so I'm still wearing the cardigan over my t-shirts when I'm out and about, and I'm still requiring the fire to be put on of an evening just to top that heat up so I can feel the heat. But besides that, everything's okay. Hope I don't worry you. I just wanted to do an update because it's been a while since I've done an update on my health, and I just wanted to share that with people and explain why I haven't produced as many videos as I normally would. Okay, thanks for joining me today, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thank you.